Dear participants, welcome back to part 3 of our unit 7 in the higher education module on institutional management for entrepreneurship. Under the chapter digital marketing and branding, today we shall discuss online surveys and how they can be used for promoting of our products and services. Online survey is one of the most popular data collection sources. A set of small survey questions is sent to the target sample via various mediums such as email, embedded over website, social media, etc. Online surveys have been used to gain insights and feedback about upcoming products or services, change in marketing strategies, enhancement in current features, etc. Growth seen in the implementation of online surveys due to extremely low cost and convenience due to the sheer magnitude of reach. Now, various characteristics of online surveys include: what is the purpose of the online survey? Clarity in objective of conducting an online survey is essential so that the results can be used to enhance products and services, customer service or any other pre-decided objective. Accurate research design is required. There are three ways in which research design can be made. One is cross-sectional, longitudinal, experimental, or lastly correlational. Precisely structured survey questions should be there. We should be carefully curating and balancing the questions into open-ended and close-ended, whereas different ways in which these questions can be put across include multiple choice, dichotomous, matrix, Likert scale, etc. Other characteristics of online surveys include the requirement for a clearly defined target sample. Now, a sample is a representative section of the target respondents who represent the required characteristics for research and whose inputs can be generalized and applied to the entire target market. For example, demographics, profession, etc. Sampling methods can also be of two types. One is probability sampling and another is non-probability sampling. As we already know, probability sampling is a type of sampling in which there is a random chance of anybody being included in the sample out of the population of target audience. Non-probability sampling is more dependent upon our previous experience and how we want to bias our search in that sample. So, that way non-probability is slightly based upon human intervention, whereas probability is absolutely based upon statistics. Collection and analysis of respondent feedback is another characteristic. Productive results are obtained only if the collected results are well analyzed. Analysis of the data which we are collecting is very important, and that will help us to make informed decisions for the organization. Then transparent reporting of survey responses is important. Transparency is important because the results should be reported to all stakeholders for improvement. Only if we are transparent in discussing our results can there be improvement, and it also enhances trust among the stakeholders for your core team. Now, how do we create these online surveys? Online surveys can be created through three different ways. One is either you start from the scratch, you develop your own online survey without any reference point. Second could be importing a survey from a Word document into the online template. Third is by using a ready-made template already available online. So, these are three kinds of surveys through which we go in for an online survey. What are the steps to improve survey response rate while creating a survey? First thing is we should be quick. The survey should be short. The better survey is that in which a consumer's attention is not diverted while answering a survey. So, we receive a quicker response and it increases the chances of the respondent finishing the survey. Then we can also offer gift coupons and other incentives. These things are normally used in online surveys. A gift coupon can be offered to a person who is finishing the survey, and that motivates the respondents to complete it. We can also use a reliable survey audience, that is important. How do we get that reliable audience? There are many platforms which are giving you panelists. They have enrolled panelists, and those platforms, online platforms, can be used they give you an assured audience which is reliable, and you are more likely to receive accurate responses that will fulfill the target for which you are making that survey. Advantages of online surveys are numerous. The first thing which we can think about is that it is a faster medium to reach the target audience. In comparison to offline surveys, it is very fast. Pen and paper surveys took a lot of time. You needed to go to the respondent, or you had to mail it to the respondent. The respondent may or may not give you time, he may or may not be available. But online surveys are exceedingly fast in acquiring feedback from the respondents. Then real time analysis is possible. That is another very important advantage. Analysis is an important step for researchers to take prompt action. Data without analysis is useless. With online survey softwares available, researchers can analyze collected data in real time from a central dashboard. Cost efficient. Online surveys require less amount of money to be spent on those, and due to the minimum required resources, online surveys are much cheaper than other survey methods such as telephonic or paper and pen surveys. Then margin of error is much less in online surveys. Unlike traditional survey methods, respondents directly answer the surveys without the involvement of a mediator. So, his own thought process is going into this, and that way whatever he feels like, if the survey is well designed, it is a relatively small survey, if the attention can be kept of the person who is answering it, then you will get a good survey report through minimum margin of error. Then it is convenient to understand for the respondents. Online surveys are usually very easy to answer, as they either come to the email inbox or social media, and they can be answered back with a click at your own convenience also. If you do not feel like answering at that moment, maybe you can answer an hour later. But with the offline survey, a person who is getting that instrument filled is sitting on your head, and that creates inconvenience. Online surveys also save the researcher's time. Online surveys are very quick to configure and send, and due to the ease, they tend to save researcher's time. Researcher is basically more devoting his time to constructing a good survey and finding a good sample audience. Beyond that, sending the survey, trying to get a response is much quicker, much easier. Respondents are more truthful. When an online survey is conducted within a target audience, researchers allow respondents to answer anonymously. So, due to that anonymity involved in online surveys, respondents usually depict a more honest and truthful behavior in providing feedback. What are the disadvantages of online surveys? Because nothing is totally rosy in any field of study. Disadvantages could be that respondent cooperation issues are there. So many people are going in for different surveys, and our internet, our emails, our social media is filled up with these kind of things. So, some of the more important online surveys may get overlooked or left unanswered. So, that is an issue. So, the number of people responding back could be an issue because of the clutter already in their mails. Then questionable data reliability. Online surveys are conducted in the absence of a mediator. While absence of mediator could be a positive thing, but on the flip side, if some of the questions require some kind of an interpretation from a mediator, that becomes a negative aspect here, and that can make your survey response to be of a questionable reliability. Then limited access to certain sections of a population. There are sections of a target population which may not have access to internet. While internet is entering into different areas, different population segments, even at the lowest level, but there are still certain target audiences which are not having that access. For example, if an NGO is conducting research to learn how the less fortunate people of Ghana are doing certain aspects of their living, it is highly unlikely that they have access to online surveys, which makes it difficult for researchers to collect data. Here you can only go in for offline surveys. Another issue is how market research can grow the business. Online market research is being done with a specific purpose that we grow our business. And how does the online market research help grow the business? First thing is, it reaches a specific audience. By sending a survey to members of your target market or markets, you can make sure your efforts will be as effective and as reliable as possible. So, you can research your specific audience which you want to reach. The different sources of the specific audience are available to you. They could be your own customers, they could be your probable databases you have acquired from some sources. Then there are online panels available which different marketing research teams are offering to you. So, once you get that specific audience, then you can reach it in a very positive way. Research and analysis of a target market is another way in which we can grow the business. Marketing budget is one of the business's largest expenses. Maximum amount of money is spent, sometimes even educational institutions nowadays spend crores of rupees in marketing. While making that kind of a expense, you need to be very clear that your expense is going to give you some positive result. For that, you need to research before budgeting. So, before earmarking funds for any marketing plans or initiative, you should be confident that the strategies you are considering will drive to success. So, basically a proper analysis of the target market will help you to devise a better marketing plan and give you better return on investment in terms of your marketing budget. Then it will help you to measure your brand awareness. How aware are the people in your target market regarding your brand? Are they having a positive perception? Are they having a negative perception? Are they actually perceiving the benefits as you perceive them or you want them to perceive? So many things are there which you need to analyze, and online surveys help you to do that. So, using branding and brand identity surveys help you to diagnose your brand image and build your brand. A diagnosis will be very important to build or further make a course correction in your brand. Another way in which it will help your business grow is gain insights on your product or a future product. How do we gain insights on your product? You can make a market survey, online survey, in which whatever product you want to launch in the market or whatever product already available in the market from your company, that product, is it meeting the requirements of the market, is it meeting the requirements of the target audience, that thing you can survey. Then research and analyze the target online media. Which media to use, very important, you need to research on that also. So, with the increasing importance of social media in your marketing mix, online social media surveys are a great way to figure out which social media channels you need to pay attention to. There are so many ways in which you can market online. Which of those channels your target audience is more likely to see or more likely to pay attention to? That research is important. Then dive deeper into customer demographics. Demographic information is essential to understand the target market. Demographic information includes your age, your social profile, your professional profile, all those things are part of your sex, they are part of your demographic profile. So, you need to analyze the demographic profile of your target audience, your customers, while designing your marketing campaign, and this helps your messaging and campaigning. The message you are sending will be much more improved if you do this analysis. It easily conduct market segmentation. Market may be very big, there may be a clutter there, you may be looking at a niche segment in that market. So, segmenting the target market is possible through market research. You can divide your target market into smaller groups that share common attributes, and that will help you to support decision making processes. Even if you are targeting more than one common smaller group, you can have a separate messaging for different smaller groups with common attributes. So, that is something which marketing research will help you to do. Decide which creative assets you use in your next campaign. So, over the long run you will be in a position to better prioritize your ad spend and sources by deciding which creative assets to use. which way to go about your online marketing, which channels to use for online marketing. Then use it to test branding, positioning and naming. Market research can be used to test branding, positioning and naming of your brand. So, the most revered brands listen to their target audience and tailor their marketing strategies accordingly. It helps to understand the attitudes, motivations and preferences of the consumers, especially in relation to your competitors. If you are able to do this analysis, it will help you to test whether your brand is working, whether it is positioned in a proper way and whether it is named properly. Next is that you try to understand consumer sentiment in the market through market research. Sometimes you may be far removed from what the actual consumer sentiment is in the market. So, running investment research surveys on a consistent set of respondents will help you to decide when to make changes in your portfolio. If you are running those surveys on the same set of respondents, any change in the response would give you an idea whether the consumer sentiment in the market is changing or not, whether some kind of tweaking is required from your side in your portfolio or not. It also helps you to decide on where to invest. Market research also assists you in creating fresh original content. So, building stories that reference people's opinions and preferences benefit your content and help uncover new fresh angles. You need to record those stories, you can play those stories as part of your marketing campaign. The comments can be there in your print campaigns also. So, the feedback from a consumer when given to a prospective consumer helps to convert that consumer to your own product. Market research is also very important in performing academic research. Consumer feedback offers the data points you need to move your research forward. Whether you are a researcher or a graduate student, consumer feedback will help you to decide how to move forward in your research. Then you can transform customer feedback into compelling testimonials and reports. Content marketing software automatically transforms customer feedback from your satisfied customers into persuasive, credible collateral. This will be something which will convert few fresh customers. Capture the voice of your happy customers and make sure your prospects hear what others have to say about your brand. So, whosoever is a happy customer, his message should be publicized, his message should be broadcast to your prospective customers. Now, this was about how market research can help us improve our company's performance. Now, what are the steps we need to keep in mind to create a market research survey? First is to define the problem. How should we define the problem? There are certain questions we need to ask while defining a problem. Reflect on why you are interested in researching a particular topic. What problem are you trying to solve with this data? How will it benefit your product, your customers or your company in general? Once you are able to answer these questions, defining the problem for which that market research survey is being done becomes very easy. After defining the problem, you need to establish research objectives. These objectives again will be dependent upon the answers to the first point. Objective is a goal you are hoping to reach with your market research survey. So, once you decide that objective, then your survey would be designed accordingly. For example, one of the objectives could be, if we change the functionality of this product, how will customers react to it? You have a product, you want to change its functionality, you want to add new features, you want to modify certain features, you want to modify the aesthetics. How will the market react to that? That could be one of the objectives. Then target the right audience. To ensure you have a suitable sample size that fits within your budget, consider loosening your population criteria. Finding the right target audience is a big issue. If you become very narrow in deciding that, you may end up getting insufficient numbers to make a survey. So, sometimes you need to loosen your population criteria, or another way is to you can loosen your population criteria, get more people to answer, but put in a filter somewhere in that survey wherein people who have no relevance to your product, they can be filtered out at that stage also. Decide on your margin of error. That means defining the degree of confidence that your results match up with the opinions and preferences of the entire population. Of this, that means that how much of a margin of error is there in the results you are getting and whether that is tolerable or not. Then set the timelines. Timelines are basically when will you send your survey out, how many times will you send it, and within what time are you going to get the information back from the people who are answering your survey. Then use resources and tools to help you. Various tools are there which offer an immense number of market research survey examples. Use them, use the templates to create your own survey, or use them to build your survey, taking them as a guide when you are building your own survey from a scratch. Then use the right tools to start collecting and analyzing data. Choose from a variety of options when deciding how to send the survey instrument. When the responses come back, use analysis tools to conduct your data analysis at a high level. You will be able to find hidden patterns in your data and spot insights you have never discovered before. So, these are some of the aspects of using online surveys and how they can help us promote our products and services. This is very important for a startup, for an entrepreneur, and I hope that the information we have gathered in this talk can be further expanded by self learning from your own aspect, and you can actually go out implementing these things. Thank you so much.